no, 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 not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Hola, muy buenas a todos y bienvenidos a Top Games. Bueno, gente, hoy vamos a continuar con este juego Stanley Parable. Me gustó muchísimo, la verdad que le estoy pegando ahora derecho, o sea, del último video le estoy pegando derecho, lo corté como para que no se haga tan largo el otro video, pero me interesó, o sea, vamos a ver cómo continúa. Bueno, ahora nos dibujaron las líneas estas en el piso como para que no supuestamente por el narrador no nos perdamos, ¿no? Pero bueno, vamos a continuar el juego, a ver qué surge de esta historia, ¿no? Acá tomamos un camino alternativo, pero igual podría ir por allá. Oh, ya me genera duda. Bueno, no. Sí, me voy a la mierda, me voy para acá. Chupame un huevo, me quiero escapar de acá. Y otra vez, no.
I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Ah, tengo que volver. No hay salida, no hay salida. Me cansé, dice. Como diciendo, sos un... ¿Y ese? 4B4. 4B7.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay.
Bien.
Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to
Bastante
apologize.
raro.
Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
No, pero esa música no relaja. No. Seguimos en... Pará la música. Por la pared. Y yo como un boludo siguiendo... Oh. Nah. Tenemos que seguir avanzando hasta que pare la música, ¿no? Sa. Basta. No voy a ir por ahí. Dale.
Cut the music.
Ah, por
Go
fin.
back and look at that fern. Wait, what? We're back at the office? No.
Ah, sí, por acá por donde nos fuimos.
You do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Pará, ¿aquella no está... ¿Aquella se abre o no? No, está cerrada. Otra vez.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
¿Y otra vez? ¿Será siempre a la misma hora? The Hate Monday. A ver.
You know what,
No.
Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why
La verdad.
can't we make up our own story?
No se portó para nada
Something
bien.
exciting, daring, mysterious. Oh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
¿Por qué? 4:37.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
Estoy dando vueltas en
Whatever it might be,
círculos.
Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Estoy dando vueltas en círculos. Está muy raro esto.
No, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Ella. Marca registrada. Bien. ¿Tiene vida propia la línea? Ahí se va de vuelta.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here.
A ver.
Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means
Vamos.
that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here.
Para que me
And
estoy
that in
mareando.
turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
¿Por qué?
Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Queremos una historia hecha y derecha.
Oh, hold up, what's this?
Ah.
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to
Wow.
restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Ok,
And the timer
Para.
stopped? Does that mean, did we do it?
Rompemos el
Did we
ciclo,
break
bien.
the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Bueno,
So,
deja de hablar así, no te leo más. Desvíate de la sala de
I
mantenimiento.
guess
Llega
now
a
we
la
just
sala de
wait.
monitores.
You know,
El narrador
I
reinicia la
suppose in
partida.
some
Primer
way
reinicio.
that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
¿Qué? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Otra vez? Es esto de la historia, ¿no?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
O sea que puedo estar jugando infinitamente.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ok, vamos a ir a la de la izquierda, de vuelta. Pero no vamos a subir, vamos a bajar, ¿o no? La escalera.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all.
Eso ya es
I'm
distinto.
just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Tómate. ¿Habrá algo en este...?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No. ¿Y dónde vamos? Vamos a ir por abajo. Acá hay un auto.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical
Otra
sense.
vez.
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Gran pregunta, ¿no?
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
No, dime.
Then
Estoy
he
volando.
imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Era lo primero que me pregunté.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to
Me está
take
confundiendo más
responsibility for
de lo que me está ayudando.
himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
1, 2, B4.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be
Me
fine.
está volando la cabeza esto, ¿no?
I am okay.
Estoy en el mismo lugar.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
No. ¿Qué está pasando?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
¿Mm?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose,
Estoy completamente
dressed, gathered
desorientado.
her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there,
qué fría.
staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Llego tarde del trabajo. Veo un muerto y lo dejo ahí. Esto nunca termina, esto nunca termina. Esto nunca termina. ¿Ese fue un final?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Ahora lo que yo me pregunto es ¿qué otra
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Vamos a continuar.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Ahora está cerrado. Esto continúa. Quiero abrir acá. ¿Fuiste vos, narrador? ¿Que no querías que abra más la puerta?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
¿Qué hacemos, gente? Si vamos para abajo, de vuelta entraremos en el bucle. Tenemos otra opción, creo, por acá. A ver, vamos a tomar de vuelta para arriba. Antes de... A ver si podemos ir al baño. Tengo la sensación, el dinero es para robar, pero no lo tuyo, por supuesto, dice. Ese es un bolso encantador, purse es bolso, ¿no? Sí, ese es no es como un bolso, ese es un monedero, o sea, una billetera encantadora. Pero acá no tengo salida acá. ¿Y esta puerta dónde va? Ah, acá hay otro camino. Acá no hay nada, que me diga. ¿En serio? ¿Un panda con un revólver en la cabeza? ¿Con un arma en la cabeza? Podemos subir. No quiero subir. ¿Y esta? ¿Por qué tan brillosa? ¿Voy para arriba? ¿Puedo ir más para arriba? Música de ascensor. Dice Stanley, dice. Me hablan de fondo, se escucha de fondo, ¿eh? Se pone el volumen al máximo, se escucha una voz. Pará, no termina nunca esto. Estamos de vuelta en el mismo piso, ¿no? Dice Stanley, loco. Qué hijo de su madre, no me dejan ir a ningún lado. Es toda una mentira.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Vamos de vuelta a errarle. Vamos. 1, 2, 3, 4.
2845.
1, 1, 1. Vamos a hacerlo enojar.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well,
¿Qué hijo de su madre? Me hizo seguir por más que ponga la contraseña incorrecta. ¿Qué hay un gatito ahí? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Es a la fábrica? Me estoy para abajo, sí o sí. Ahora sí dice cargando. Ay, la punta,
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Podemos acá. Que dice escapar. Vamos rápido.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Como una muerte violenta. Me lo está diciendo para que no vaya.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
¿Cómo con su muerte? ¿Y ahora? No.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
No. No.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
No sé.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Sí, puede ser un sueño eterno, el purgatorio. Pinturas de naturaleza. Hace ruido de apretar botón. ¿Qué hay atrás? Este es el escenario. Computadora de Stanley. Diagrama de la oficina. Este plano muestra la oficina del comienzo del juego. El camino desde la oficina de Stanley hasta las dos puertas fue la primera parte del juego que se construyó. A lo largo del desarrollo se agregaron y se modificaron distintas secciones, pero el diagrama fundamental es casi idéntico a la primera versión. Está bien, ahí nosotros salimos de la oficina. Vamos hasta acá, pasamos la otra oficina. Llegamos acá y acá llegamos a las dos puertas. Bien, ¿qué dice? Pasillo. El ritmo de la sección inicial era crucial para el juego. El pasillo se movió y se modificó para que los jugadores llegaran a las dos puertas en un buen tiempo. Archivadores. Las dos puertas. El escenario de las dos puertas abiertas fue la primera pieza concreta del diseño de Stanley Parable. Una vez que se creó esta habitación, el resto del juego surgió como una extensión, una exploración de la contradicción que se planteaba aquí. Bien. Computadoras de la oficina. Uy, la apagué. ¿Por qué la apagué? Estaba jugando en solitario. Y... 1, 2, 3. La oficina. Sonido de botones. Selección de los sonidos que se utilizan en el juego cuando se oprimen botones. En cada uno de ellos se combina un tono sintético con el sonido que se produce al presionar la tecla. Este es el de Half-Life, parece. Créditos. ¿Y ahora? ¿Realmente terminó? Si voy para la derecha o voy para la izquierda. 431, 436. Ya hay una pantalla. Reloj de la oficina. Oficina del jefe. Imágenes de desarrollo de la oficina del jefe. Puedo ir para arriba también, ¿no? ¿Y acá? Hay tantos caminos que no sé cuál tomar. La oficina. Este es el cartel. Sala de mantenimiento. Una versión inicial de la sala de mantenimiento. Tiene más cosas ahora, sí. Bueno, ahora no. Para poder para ahí. Anuncios de Ultra Deluxe. En diciembre de 2018 hicimos un anuncio de la versión Ultra Deluxe de Stanley Parable en The Games Awards. Aquí se muestran capturas de pantalla de los videos que hicimos para el anuncio y el retraso del juego, ¿bien? Está, es como todo. O sea, sería ver como el extra del juego, ¿no? Sala de empleados, una versión inicial. Bien, está bien. El cronómetro del apartamento. En una versión anterior de la elección que conduce al final del apartamento, un cronómetro te daba 15 segundos para atender el teléfono. Si no atendías, llegabas a otro final. Muy bien. El montacarga, segunda versión, cumple la misma función que la del juego final, pero queríamos que se pareciera más a un lugar donde se almacenan las mercancías. Bien. Está lleno de... No termina nunca esto. ¿Y esto qué es? Diagrama de sala de mantenimiento. Los pasillos que vienen luego de las dos puertas iniciales eran importantes, pues los jugadores los recorrerían muchísimas veces. Probamos con varios diseños, pero definitivamente ganó la versión más simple. Se modifica ahí un poco. Ok. ¿Y esto qué es? Modelo del final Zen. El final Zen tuvo muchas iteraciones. Esta sala representa la cuarta versión del final. Pensamos que habíamos terminado, pero decidimos abandonarlo y modificarlo otra vez un poco antes del lanzamiento. Durante mucho tiempo tuvimos un final que solo terminaba cuando el jugador reiniciaba desde el menú de escape. Por desgracia, muy pocas personas se dieron cuenta de que esto era lo que había que hacer, lo cual fue frustrante para todo el mundo. Ah, había un final ahí. Final Zen. En esta captura se muestra una versión inicial del final conocido como Final Zen, que luego se descartó y se combinó con otras partes del juego. Palancas del Final Zen. En un principio estas palancas eran parte del Final Zen. Cuando el jugador accionaba las palancas, el narrador describía qué color había accionado. Bueno, pero puedo ir para acá. ¿Y esto? Lanzamos 4 avances principales durante el desarrollo del juego, cada uno de los cuales transmitía un aspecto de espíritu del juego. Este es el primero, publicado en mayo de 2012. En él se ve una serie de habitaciones rotas y voz del narrador que les informa a los espectadores que está reparando una nueva versión de Stanley Parable. No se puede ver, no arranca. Wow, bueno. Eh, Final de la libertad. Esta es versión beta, ok. Sí, ahora cambió completamente. Quiero apretarlo. Podía subir o bajar hasta arriba de la libertad. Bueno, esto no me interesa. Habitación de cuenta regresiva. Y acá estoy volviendo. Ok, puedo ir para allá también. ¿Y esa?
Now then, this elevator for sure will get him right back on track to where he was supposed to be in the
Kevin
story.
Brighton, la voz del narrador, grabó el diálogo de todo el juego en 3 momentos diferentes a lo largo de 2 años de desarrollo. Aquí hay tomas iniciales
Then
que no
he
se...
pushed the number 4.
Interesante como para conocer un poco más del juego, pero creo que esto no lleva a ningún lado. ¿Qué nos falta? Ir para el otro lado, ¿no? Seguir por acá. Allá. Sí, no. ¿Y esto? Acá de donde venimos, ok.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
¿El narrador?
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your Xbox. There's no other way to beat
No voy a apagar la
As long
Xbox.
as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
¿Esa era?
Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
No. Qué bueno que está. ¿Y ahora? Esto nunca termina. Estamos de vuelta en el inicio. ¿Podemos llegar a encontrar otro final? Pero no, gente. Hasta acá llegamos hoy, ¿eh? La verdad, interesante. Esto no se termina. O sea, todavía no se terminó. Para mí no se terminó. Así que recuerden, si les gusta el video, me dejan un me gusta. No olviden suscribirse, dejarme un comentario y nos estamos viendo en el próximo video que vamos a explorar más finales, ¿eh? Así que nos vemos en la próxima. Chau, chau.